Hello, good morning. Good morning from the fifth dimension, giving you your daily fifth dimensional news update. Today's topic: how will I know when I'm in the fifth dimension? Well, I had a lovely experience this morning, my 5 a.m. morning run, and I was running just the south of the town here in Scotland, and I'm out over the countryside into the hills, and there was this really beautiful moment, which was where there was a crow up on a little farmer's field fence to my left, and over to the left was this big beautiful dawn, this really orange light of dawn, as we are ready for the equinox. As the dawn came up, just as I looked out over the fields, there were 4, maybe 5 young deer. And I stopped for a moment, and the crow had since moved over to the other side of the road, and it was like talking to me. Let me see if I can do an impression. I don't think there's any crows here, just a seagull coming, and the crow was going. And so I was chatting back as I was running, and I think we had a small conversation. I think I'm going to count that as my first verbal interaction with a crow. It was just a lot of fun, and the seagulls have been nice to me, which is good. As it gets lighter in the morning, they're no longer diving down at me. Now, one realization I had is that I was wearing a hat that had circles on it, and from above, oh, there we go. I was wearing a hat that had circles on it that from above looked quite a lot like an owl's eye, and apparently seagulls hate this. And isn't that funny? I never would have thought that stripy hat is a synchronicity for owls as well, which keep appearing in my life as spirit animal. And then I seem to, after that moment of seeing the deer in my run, I turned around and started running back down the hill. And you can observe Patch while he's not peeing or pooing. Sniffing is fine. But as I ran back down the hill, there was this just a really beautiful feeling. I was like, oh, I wonder when I'll know. How will I know if I'm in the fifth dimension or not? And I feel like it's a feeling in your heart. And as I carried that feeling, it's a really happy, high vibration love feeling. Felt like that feeling was just surrounding me. And so as I ran down back towards the town, which is where sometimes the seagulls aren't so happy with me running at early hours in the morning. I guess they think I'm going to steal their eggs. That was not true today. They were all very kind and very nice. I even passed some dogs off lead who came and said hello. And I feel like those interactions have just continued ever since. Just really loving, funny interactions. Lots of fun. And maybe that's how you know when you're in the fifth dimension. Come on, Patch. I mean, energetically I know, because I was just there yesterday with a client. And we went up to the fifth dimension and performed some healing and activations. I think another way you know when you're there is that when you come back down to the third dimension, it feels very different. It just always feels like you're going backwards. It feels like, it's a descension, right? So you go from fifth through fourth and down to third, and you're like, oh, my vibration feels lower. I mean, I'm still happy, but it's like a lower range. It just is. What other magic happened yesterday? Speaking of the fifth dimension, I did the first fifth dimension Ascension class, and I decided, thanks to everyone who came along, it was lovely to see you, and I did tell the class and get their permission, but I cut out the parts of the video that had anyone else in it, and just recorded the video so that I could share it publicly. And it was really magical. I would describe it as getting started with somewhere between spirit guide and mindfulness meditations, and this one that I'm focusing on in yesterday's class is all about what do you do when those thoughts come in. When you're meditating and the thoughts come in and out of your mind, how do you cope with just working through thoughts, and they kind of come in and out of your reality, but you don't need to feel like you're failing. It's okay to be human. It's okay to experience these things flowing in and out of you. And that was just lovely, and a lot of that was guided in the moment. I've not done a meditation like that, but I was shown how to do it just minutes before by one of my spirit guides, and then at the very end of the meditation we also have some time dedicated to connecting with your spirit guides. And I think it feels good because you're on the path to your fifth dimension, so you want to always be just always doing what you're doing, and just a little bit higher vibration, doing what you're doing, and a little bit more joy. So that was a really wonderful experience. There's another one next week. I will be alternating times and exploring different times. I'll probably start altering the times in April, so different people can come along. And some of you asked, yes, hello. Some of you asked if the replay will be available. It'll definitely be available for those who sign up to the class. But I don't know if the class will be made public or not. Or, like in a membership group, like either I think the easiest thing for me to do is in the YouTube membership group. But we'll see. And what else did I do? Oh, and I did the podcast with the incredible Chloe, Rose, and Viviani. So that was a lot of fun. And we were talking about shadow work and negative entities. So yeah, come along and check out the podcast. It was just wonderful, and getting to hear about their experiences and journeys, and everything from our traumas to our healing journeys, which is just such an honor to both receive very transparently and very vulnerably these experiences, and then working through them. And I feel like all these aspects, it's no coincidence that my calendar had two sessions yesterday, and one was about the fifth dimension, and then I did a fifth dimensional ascension class, and then I did a shadow work podcast. Doing our inner work is the key to the fifth dimension, right? Like right now, I wouldn't feel so happy and liberated, living my dream life, walking Patch in the sunshine, while everyone does their day jobs, because I'd be too fearful to leave. Come on, Patch. I would have been too fearful to have left my corporate job. And, there was a lot of shadows for me to deal with. Come on, buddy. He wants to pull over there for some reason. He seems very determined. What is it, Patch? What is it, buddy? No, it's the wrong way. Don't go that way. It was funny. Patch was in my triggers yesterday as I was talking about shadow work. It's this, Patch. It's stopping and sniffing. But right now, I just see that he's enjoying it so much. So why don't I enjoy the sun? And you never know, maybe it's for a reason. Maybe Patch is like super psychic and he knows. He's like killing time as he's sniffing, waiting for the next magical event. And speaking of magical events, today's meditation was very fascinating. So it was about secrets being revealed, and I like that term because I often feel like the terms disclosure feel what's the word? Yeah, disempowering. It's a bit like kind of sometimes, not all the time, but sometimes I feel like disclosure is as a term suggests that we're somehow a victim of not having the truth shared, and then when it is shared, it's like, you know, somehow our right to have received it, and yet with the latter is true, and I don't really have a problem with the word, but secrets, I think, is a really interesting energy to it, because keeping secrets seems like withholding something on purpose, and for me it feels less disempowering. Is that a double negative? Because I feel like we all have secrets, and a lot of us have secrets that we hide from ourselves. It's another way of interpreting shadow work, is the moments when we lie to ourselves, or we hide things from ourselves. And I guess a secret can be intentional or it can be accidental, or implicit. But yeah, anyway, back to the meditation message. I didn't really get much of a chance to express it either in the song or today's meditation, so here's a third format. And that is that, right, come out of the flowers patch, you just ruined them, Dylan. That is that the energy of the reaction from us, so when we, let's say a big secret's revealed, like these structures beneath the pyramids turn out to be impossible for like the dynasties, the Egyptian dynasties, to have created, and when that's revealed, well, I mean, it is revealed, but when it's more publicly and globally acknowledged, my guide was explaining, it's the energy of our reaction, which is really fascinating. So a lot of these secrets have been held on purpose, in part to almost like reserving and building up a demand for when the secret's finally revealed, that there's a fear and confusion and chaotic response from us. Because let's face it, a secret is not interesting. It's not really, it has no power and no energy until we give it power and energy, until we say, wow, I can't believe that. That totally changes my view of the history of humanity, or the origins of humanity, or the existence of life on other planets. And isn't that wonderful? My pets, you have to come out there, darling. You can't just destroy all these plants. They've got a hard enough life. I know you love it. You can sniff, but just on the outside. And so instead of this fear energy, if we meet it with this, first of all, gratitude. And I thought that was really fascinating, because this gratitude energy, imagine, for example, that it was not good news, that there was a secret that was revealed and it wasn't great news for us, like something dark about our history. My guide was still suggesting that we meet it with like this love energy, and starting with gratitude. And once the gratitude, first of all, is just a bit like when we face our own shadows individually, that when you're grateful for suddenly having a light shined on that, shone on the shadow or the trigger that triggers it and shines a light onto your shadow, this is just as important, if not more important, for us collectively and globally. And So instead of just going, oh no, turns out we're even worse as a human race than we thought we were, like, we always just were, we always just are. It's just our perception and the breadth and depth of our truth changes as secrets are revealed. And really, it is a beautiful thing when even the most miserable of news is or secrets are made public. And so meeting it first of all with this reaction of gratitude. And I'm just asking my guide at the moment, I'm asking, what's the difference, what's the energetic difference? And they're saying that there's a significantly more powerful energy to gratitude than, for example, fear. And that if you ever wondered how this works, so right now the answer I got is gratitude is 5 times more powerful than fear. Now that's fascinating, isn't it? What does that make you think? Does it make you think that you're somehow as disempowered and a victim as you realized? You're at least 5 times more powerful than the energy of fear, the energy of 5 other people in fear, that your gratitude. And that there's probably some maths you can work out with the frequency range differences between these emotions, or at least the range of emotions, but that for me just blows my mind. And it also helps give me hope that, we don't need to rely on every single human kind of going through their own awakenings and going through their own magical experiences in life to help save this world. It just takes us, a much smaller number of us because of the power of the frequency ranges, or the differential power between the power of emotions. Wow, this is so cool. What a lovely conversation to start a Thursday. Okay, come on, Patch. I guess in good news, when Patch stops so much, you guys get a longer video and I don't just run around his little circuit. There's a few different patterns we follow, but yeah, the length of the video is dramatically affected by Patch. Thank you, Patch. What's on today? So yeah, today's largely I just have one client session because it was meant to be a day off, but then I really have to do more work than I expected on my Swedish massage case study, and then I've got a client session, and then we're going out for dinner, taking our in-laws out for dinner, which will be lovely. So lovely to be able to do that. And tomorrow's off, so Friday's off, which is fantastic. So if you're watching this, there's no YouTube live stream today. The next one will be Monday, and I'm chatting with Chloe to see if she'll join us as a special guest. That would be phenomenal. But yeah, it's just a lot of fun. And what a beautiful day. So Patch and I are going to sign off. Signing off, this is your 5th dimensional news from John Binnie. Take care, sending love.